Hello there. Oh, okay. Hmm. Well, working on inviting people on my other phone. I didn't have a statement prepared or anything. This is a discussion. Maybe this will come in. Oh, hey, I'm eating cherries. Let me send this. I'll show you. Oh, you still have your moderator tag. You still have your little wrench. Boop. Got some cherries. About to take my meds. So I messed up the first live by changing screens. And I didn't check to see if anybody was had thumbed up that live that to wait on it. So hopefully nobody was like usual and I didn't mess that up for anybody. But they should, if anybody was waiting on that, they should know that shit happens, especially when it comes to me. And just have the channel, my YouTube channel saved. Um, can't tap the screen for likes. Yeah, not around here. We don't do that here. This is YouTube. But you definitely like reflexively tapped it. Muscle memory tapped it. Um, but yeah, I didn't forget the young lady's name. I don't know how to pronounce it. All I know I can pronounce her name. Uh, I can pronounce her last name. What should say? Let me see what I got. Just a sec to do that. Yeah, you have to go down to the rest of the page shit to like the live, and you can only like it once on YouTube. I know, right? I don't know. I don't think Instagram has tapped the screen for like no. Well, does Instagram have tapping the screen? Huh. Um, Yareni Yareni Rios Gonzalez. I can't. Okay, so I'm having difficulty pronouncing her first name, but her last name is Rios Gonzalez. And this happened in Colorado, Drew. I forgot exactly where, but it's like small town Colorado. Um, they put her in the back of the squad car in handcuffs for an alleged road rage incident. And I don't know if this place has like cameras on their traffic stops like a lot of other places do. Um, but they put her in the back of the police car with the police car sitting on the fucking train tracks. Like, that's not rule number one. Don't fucking do that. And then left the police car there. And I'm assuming that this is a regular set of traffic in train tracks where there's bells and a horn from the train coming and um the big bars drop and all that. I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming this looks like what every traffic railroad crossing looks like. And all that happened, and they left the squad car there with her in the back of the car on the fucking train tracks while they were at her car, assumably. And the train hit her, of course. And yeah. Kind of wondering what the fuck that's about. I can't imagine the terror she was going through watching the train come at her. Or maybe she didn't watch the train. Maybe she just turned around and just accepted it. But she miraculously lived, for what it's worth. Has to live with medical bills and disability for the rest of her life. Yeah. I think it takes like a train like over 20 miles to stop. Even more depending on what it had on it. 20 miles is enough, and I know I'm not accurate. It definitely would have been easier for them to move the train off the train tracks than it would have for the train to stop. Hi, other person. This might be the person from Lex. If get on in the comments if you're the person from Lex or you're the person from Lex that moved over to Telegram. I'm also gonna give you my Telegram. Those cops should pay for health care. I think that her family like actively sued them, and they may have paid for her health care. There's not much follow up between the time in which she was hospitalized and the time she filed a lawsuit, her own lawsuit. And originally the cops had felony charges, but they were dropped for whatever reason. And she's still facing charges for the reason why she was put in the back of the car in the first place. And we're not even sure what that is. A cab all day, every day. Um, Seriously. It's like, what the fuck were you doing to where this person got left in a fucking squad car? And it's like, they have to get some kind of charges. They have to face some sort of punishment because they are directly responsible for damage to government property. Because even though local police aren't considered GI, the equipment's paid for with tax money. You know that. So they have to see some sort of punishment for damages to the squad car. But, and also, like, you just left your squad car there? How the fuck did you get back? Your car's fucking ruined. Like, I don't know the reach on those damn walkie-talkies, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm kind of wondering, like, the whole thing. Like, how did you miss the train? How did y'all get back? Like, what the fuck happened? Oh, I guess they had their cell phones on them. And then the EMT show up. Like, what happened is obvious, but they're still going to ask what the fuck happened because they can't believe the fucking stupidity of the situation. Like, surely this isn't what I'm looking at. Yes, it is. These assholes just left a squad car sitting on the goddamn railroad tracks with a person in it. That's exactly what fucking happened. It's like sometimes I really wonder about these EMTs' perspective because a lot of these EMTs and firefighters don't like the police. Absolutely fucking hate the police. They destroy, for all the funding that they get, they destroy communities. And they just like, we have to fucking do calendars and wave boots on street corners while y'all just get the fucking funding and this is what you do with it. You have too much funding when you can just let a car with a person in the back of it get hit by a train. Like, you're doing too much. We're out here waving boots next to homeless people, and y'all can afford to get a squad car hit by a train. I don't have time. Uh-oh. Okay. The blatant disregard for human life. Did you hear about Adrian? That little 11-year-old in I've never heard of this place before. Indianapolis, Missouri. It's a weird word. It starts with it sounds like you're about to say Indiana, but then you switch it up at the end, Opolis or something, in Missouri. Um, so the boy's mother gave him the phone and asked him to call the police because there was a domestic issue. I don't know where the domestic issue was. I don't know if it was with them or with somebody else. But the little boy called the police. And when the police showed up, they immediately shot the boy who called them. And that boy's like 11. Um he was released from the hospital Wednesday. I don't know if it was this Wednesday. Okay, so this Wednesday is tomorrow. So it was this past Wednesday. I forgot it was Tuesday. Um and of course he's a boy, so he has all kinds of organ damage from one bullet, let alone how many they put into him. And the police officer responsible, Greg Scapes or something, I made a video about it on TikTok, is suspended without pay while they do an internal investigation. Yeah. And his attorney, the thing at the forefront is there's no way they could have mistaken him for an adult. So a lot of times criminalizing black bodies is, and like the justice system serving black bodies harsher treatment, a part of the argument is our bodies mature faster. And I guess that's partially true. And at the same time, I feel like this whole maturing thing is a fucking social construct. So that is the justification behind black children getting tried as adults and getting charged as adults and getting treated like adults in the justice system when they are in fact juvenile. Because it's not about how you look, it's about how your brains and your organs have developed. So the headlining argument right now is there's no way they could have mistaken him for an adult. He looks very much like a child, like a little chubby face, a little chubby round body, all that. That is a fucking child. Like, and like, if you didn't know any better, you would think I was in high school. Especially when I'm bald and I cut off these gray hairs that are popping up. But like, yeah, I'm like a small person with a light voice. You wouldn't think that people don't usually assume I'm an adult. So yeah, the idea of physical maturity is very much a fucking social construct that is usually used against people. Yeah, I know. um I don't really get how much of it is a blessing because appearances, right? But like it definitely works as a curse sometimes because people automatically assume I'm immature and inexperienced. And I'm like, "No, I'm actually 34." And then like, "Oh shit." Um but so yeah, it's like, what does 34 look like? Apparently what does 11 look like when a police officer feels comfortable popping a kid in the fucking chest? Apparently there's not much difference. Um So yeah, they shot the kid in the chest, and the officer suspended without pay. But as far as I know, walking free while they know he fucking did it. As of what I know right this second, the body cam footage has not been released. There is a call to contact the police department. I did Lokius's video. I think that they took their contact information off of Google Maps, but of course it's still available on the website. But I guess the value of that is like tracking cookies to see who's looking up their website, since you can't get it on Google Maps. The police, they all say a black person. All they see is a black person. That's completely sad. But I mean, on one hand, you're not wrong, but let's tell the whole truth. All they see is a non-white person, because Native Americans get treated like shit too. I think around the time George Floyd happened, or at the same time, the California Police Department strangled a Native American man in his own home with his mom. He was having a breakdown, a minty bee, as they call it on TikTok, and the police came and murdered him the same way they murdered George Floyd. We didn't hear about that. I feel like there are a lot of reasons we didn't hear about it. One, it didn't happen in public. Two, it didn't happen at a store. Three, it didn't happen in a we don't call them food deserts or food swamps anymore. They're called something else. It starts with an A. I'm not familiar with the word yet. But it puts the focus back on how lack of food resources is intentional, rather than making it seem like they naturally occur, like how deserts and swamps naturally occur. No, food shortages are manufactured. So we're going to use the word that means that from now on. This is why I hate reformists, because we just need abolition of the police. Exactly. A lot less people would die. And like, we definitely need some sort of justice system, and we definitely need to remove dangerous people from society. But like, we definitely don't fucking need this. We don't need. I mean, people are flawed and accidents are gonna happen, but we don't need this. We don't need this systemic shit of 11-year-old boys getting shot in the chest and 30-something-year-old women getting hit by trains while in police custody. We don't need that shit. Like, no. Um, and it's definitely like, you can't reform what is already like based off of a fucked up thing. Like, the police officers are yesterday's slave catchers. You can't like, the only way you'd be able to reform them is to just take them back to being like regular slave catchers. And since there are no like, what I'm going to call legal slaves walking free, I mean, like, wage slave, let's say wage slavery doesn't count, so we don't have slaves, like, legally. So like, okay, you would make them slave catchers and they wouldn't have anything to do, but they would still exist. You can't reform white supremacy. Now, we could definitely take down this whole system and like put a part of me wants to say put people of color in charge, but then it's like I don't want the same system with different people running it. This whole fucking system doesn't work. We need to fucking get rid of all of it. And you what happened? You what happened? You remember what happened with Hurricane Katrina? The police, the guards, and the warden shit, they all left, and they left the fucking prisoners there. Like, and then I'm gonna pronounce this word wrong, and it's cool if anybody wants to correct me. Uvalde, Texas, where the police went in. Oh, I'll talk about that later. Where the police went in and got some of their own kids out and let those other kids get shot and got mad at the parents, at other parents for trying to go get their kids. And then the fucking National Guard went in and like killed that dude in like a second. No, Border Patrol went in and killed the shooter. National Guard, Border Patrol. The local police did not shit. The National Guard did it. And then they had to disband the police department because of public outrage. Mass outrage. Like, ain't no way in West fuck y'all finna keep taking our tax money and let our kids die. Get the fuck out of here. And good for them. I don't know what happened after that, but good for them in that moment. They could have been called Border Patrol. They wasted hours waiting on the local police to do something. They did jack shit all. But yeah, Hurricane Katrina. The prison staff, they all left. They left the prisoners there to die. And the worst part is, most of them didn't die immediately. A lot of them lived in that filth for weeks, months, however long they had to survive. They figured it out. It is. And then the ones that did die, they didn't have anywhere to put them. As far as I know, I don't know how that works. I don't know. I don't know what they did, but they did something. But I'm wondering what could they have done. But I wasn't in the situation, and I probably don't want to know. And then there's one guy, I forgot his name. And of course, the mainstream white supremacist media would rather him be forgotten or remembered as a criminal. But the reason why he either got bad press or he wasn't talked about is because he had a criminal record. I don't remember his name, but there are pictures of him looking like John Brown badass. This black man fucking stole a bus or some shit and started busing people where the fuck they needed to go. And like I don't even know how to like internet search for that. I gotta stop saying Google it. Google paid a lot of money for me to say that. It's propaganda. Um, let me see. Maybe it is as easy as black man bust New Orleans Hurricane Katrina. I use Firefox anyway. On my laptop, I use DuckDuckGo. Hurricane Katrina, right on. How a how a small town drug dealer rescued dozens from Katrina. Joel Anderson. The legacy of survival and selflessness. Gibson? Oh, let me see what his name is. Hurricane Katrina meme? Yeah, that's him. I'm gonna turn the camera around. He like hijacked a school bus and started like getting people out of there. 20-year-old Jabber Gibson took New Orleans Parish school bus and transported 70 people on a 13-hour trip to the Astrodome in Houston since the government would not. His bus was the first to arrive. Black History March. Hell yeah, Black History. That's fucking lit. Fuck yeah. I don't have Twitter on my tablet. Yeah. Get Jabber Gibson is his name. Oh, turn the camera back around. Ah. I'm trying to turn the camera back around. Okay, cool. And they tried to like bury this dude because he's a drug dealer or was. I don't know what he's doing now. Yeah. But like those pictures of him, and I didn't watch the interview. I want to watch the interview very retrospectively. But I think like there is a full interview. Well, there's the initial news interview, and then like maybe an interview like later. These days, he's better known as inmate correctional facility in Pollock, Louisiana. Has been there since 2010 for drug and gun possession. Locked away from his people and the Fisher. It's rebuilt. He's better known as. Come on. Do everything you can to degrade the man, right? Their child in newer homes is isolated. It feels like he's a mastermind, his sister said. Everybody listens to him. Water spills over the levee in Inner Harbor, a navigational canal in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. So he's been there since 20. So where is he now? Interview with his cousins. And this is from 2010. Okay, this is from 2015. So this is very retrospective. It ain't the police who was helping us. Oh, that's a really cool picture. And it's animated. It's a little GIF. He sounds like a hero. He was. Well, he is. If he's still alive, he is. I don't know if you can see that, but they animated the rain. Oh, I can see it a little bit. But yeah, that's an artistic rendition. I love that. Hell yeah, that's fucking amazing. Copy. Make that its own window and go back to the search. Paste. Today we recognize, and this is from 2022, last year. It's one of those recognition articles. He rescued 60 people, but they erased his legacy. Hell yeah, that's exactly what happened. And this video was posted May last year. It's a year-old video now. Erased his legacy, my ass. The internet never forgets, and we only get better and better. Oh, it's 45 minutes. It's almost 8. Well, we have 9 more minutes, whatever. I was hoping more people would come in, but it is cool to just hang out. 16 years, he was 20 years old 16 years ago, and he has been in prison since 2010. So like, I'm gonna open a new tab and see if there's any update. Where is Jabber Gibson now? Okay, so this is only as recent as 2015. So where is he in 2023? New Orleans, Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, let's see. Justice.gov. This should be reliable. They should release him. He obviously cares about human life. A lot more than the police. Jabber Gibson's age 36. Were sentenced on April 2022. Honorable violating Controlled Substances Act. So he got busted with drugs again. Sentenced to 188 months respectively. Bureau of Prisons each also received 3 years of surveillance release and was ordered to pay $100 mandatory special assessment fee. Man, fuck this fucking justice system. Fuck these pigs. And it was updated this year, April this year. So he is back in prison. That sucks. But prison is not going to be why people get forgotten in history. Legalize all drugs. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that would do for drug dealers, but it would make it easier for people to go to rehab. Because he was, I think he would, I mean, on an earlier article, it says that he's a dealer. So it's possession with intention to sell. Yeah. Like, maybe they should let him open a business since he's good at sales. I don't know. Maybe they should like give him a small business loan so he can start a cab service. He knows how to drive, and we know he drives long distances. Let him start a fucking cross country trucker company. Because the most underrated thing about drug dealers is that they know how to run a business. Else they wouldn't be drug dealers. Having skills and having opportunities are two different things. If you have skills and no opportunities, you're probably going to do something illegal. And life was really rough in New Orleans back then. Still rough now, but worse back then. So I know that boy got thrown under the damn bus, pun intended. Jokey joke. New Orleans is different when you live in Louisiana and you hear about everything that happens there. We don't get that romanticized view that the rest of the United States get to have. Like, even though we don't live there, we have a semblance. We have a guide of how difficult life is. One, it's a major city. Shit's gonna go down in a major city. Two, it's a lot of cross-cultural stuff. And three, mad fucking racism. Specifically anti-black in most cases. My accent just come out. It's gotten to the point where I notice when it happens. So yeah. I don't know. It's like after that fucking the crane. I feel like that crane falling over disillusioned a lot of people. Like, nah, New Orleans is still shit. It's still run like shit. The people are great. The government's fucking trash. It's the same fucking type of people who let that Katrina shit happen. Don't you forget it. You know what? I just had thought. Every time one of these neo-Nazis talks about democratic cities and shit, I'm gonna be like, I'm from Louisiana. Staunch blue state. Red state. Mostly red cities. I'm from Shreveport, a blue island in a red sea. Like, tell me about it. Please. Tell me how horrible these fucking blue cities blue cities are. When one, you probably never fucking heard of Shreveport, and two, Louisiana used to be the prison capital of the world. Fucking red state. The most incarcerated people. This is how Utah is like, yeah. We released a lot of our prisoners because of COVID and because of immigration. Or like, no, there was a law. There were some laws that passed that allowed people that have been sitting for a long time to be released, and like some non-violent offenses also got released. Fuck Utah, I agree. So there were some laws that passed, but they immediately refilled the fucking cells with immigrants. So I don't know who the new know who the new prison capital mantle goes to now. Yeah. Louisiana. So the United States has the highest prison population in the world. Louisiana has the highest prison population in the United States. So, arguably, Louisiana had the most imprisoned people in the world. So, since that's no longer a thing, it's not Louisiana anymore, at least. I'm wondering, I didn't get the update on who the new one is. But for a long time, for many, many decades, Louisiana was the United States / world prison capital. FYI, Shreveport was the capital of the Confederacy. And they don't teach that in school. So yeah, I'm also from the former capital of the Confederacy. Born and raised. You know what? People don't talk about this much, but Martin Luther King did a speech in Shreveport. I think it's Alabama. Okay. Oh, good job, Alabama. Now you get the finger pointy. It's prisoners, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I spent most of my life at this point not knowing that Martin Luther King did a speech in Shreveport. But it just didn't stick like it stuck in other places like Birmingham, Alabama. Don't even talk about it. I didn't learn that in school. I learned that at church. Oh, thank you. I learned that at my Progressive Unitarian Universalist church at the time. And then I went home and asked my biological mom, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, why the fuck don't people, maybe people would just talk about it more. Speech. That would help. I don't know. Oh, it's 8. It's 8:02. Of course, school whitewash everything. Exactly. But it's also up to the community. The community is also responsible for letting that get erased. But yeah, it's the end of the live. So I will just get back to you on text messages. And thank you to the other person who showed up. I didn't see you in the chat. I'm so sorry if I have live chat on. So all the messages should be visible. So if I didn't see you, I'm sorry. Oh, how you liking the dry weather? Oh, now there's 3 people. I actually really like dry heat. It's just the radiation in the desert is very underrated, and I think that might be part of the reason why I'm sick. I've had a headache and dizziness for a while now, and I'm not in Tucson. I'm in Vail. So the sun is just it's like, and northern Arizona and southern Arizona are like 2 very different places climate wise, because northern Arizona is the mountains. I wasn't sick like this in Flagstaff, and I wasn't sick like this over winter. And I have a lot of the same issues that I had when I was here the first time in Flagstaff. Not much has changed. Like the ovarian cyst rupture, that's not new. And neither is the thyroid. I had all this when I got here. And I also didn't have these headaches and dizziness when I got here. So I'm thinking it might be like the desert heat, radiation, whatever. I'm going to go back home, and hopefully this will go away while I'm on the bus, actually. But if I'm still feeling like this when I get back to Minnesota, I'm going to go to the ER up there. And I'll be sitting there for hours, unlike down here, because there's more people up there. But I got to figure out what's going on. But yeah, I'll talk to you, I'll talk to you later, later as in a few minutes, because I'm just going to go back to texting you. All right.